Hello, everyone, and welcome back to season 3, episode 1 of the Going Great Guns podcast with me, John, and
me, Anthony, from Gooner
uh,
Gospel TV.
you know where to find us by now. I am at Armchair Gooner, and Ant is
At Gooner Gospel. Give us a shout, give us a tweet, come join us.
joining
Yeah.
joining the fun of supporting Arsenal with me and Ant.
Right.
We were just saying off camera, it's a brand new season, but it's the same old Arsenal, isn't it, Ant?
Yeah.
Before we even start on the Brentford game, my first question to you would be: how have you seen, trying to take that, in perspective, before that game had started? How had you seen the Arsenal close season from July to the beginning of August?
Whoa. As in, what you mean, like
how do
transfers,
you think we've done in the
or how we
market,
closed out
all
the
that sort of
season?
stuff? Yeah,
Well, to be fair, I think didn't close out the season too badly. I think we
yeah,
had a good second half of the season. I know we started off the first half of the season really poorly, and obviously that's what got us into the mess of 8th place.
yeah.
I think we closed out very well, but it looks like we haven't started very well. I didn't want to sort of get straight to there, but
No,
yeah, we
no.
haven't
So
started very well.
So
Um,
in the summer
yeah,
then, how do you think we did over the summer then? Like before we even start on that, like with
yeah.
acquisitions and our transfer dealings basically.
To be fair, I think coming in hasn't been too bad.
Yeah,
Bringing in Lokonga, I think he looks ace. He looks
did it?
really good.
Yeah,
Um, I think Ben White, very good player. We've seen him. I think he's good. I think
yeah,
Tavares has looked good in pre-season. I haven't seen too much of him, but yeah, from what I have seen, he looks like one of them fullbacks. So yeah, I'm happy with. As for the out, that's I'm sort of stumped. I don't
yeah,
sort of get it. We haven't got rid of anybody yet, apart from obviously Joe Willock. He's sort of, yeah, he's just left, and yeah,
yeah,
it's difficult because the old Hector Bellerin, the old Granit Xhaka, there's a few players, even sort of Ainsley. There's a few players. I don't think we've tried hard enough to get rid of it. We've still got
no,
Eddie on the books. What's happening with what's happening with Lacazette, Alex Lacazette? What's going on there? Because he's got 1 year left. So
yeah,
are we gonna offer him another year, or are we gonna get rid? What's happening? What's going
yeah.
on with our outgoings? That's been sort of my only issue. And yeah, we need to get uh, attacking midfielder, mate. That's sort of what I want to see, man. A creator.
See, so for me, I'm very much along the same line as you. In terms of recruitment, I think they've done business when it needed to be the business. We needed a decent right back to match Kieran Tierney on the left. We've got Ben White in, like I said, who is a decent player. I've got a Leeds fan, friend of mine, who said when they had him, he was just superb. You could see he was head and shoulders above everyone else. I think Lokonga is going to be a great player, but he's got to
Yeah,
play alongside the right sort of player along with him.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think like you say, we need an attacking midfielder, and yet we let Joe Willock go for 20 million, who had a great end to the season. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
You keep Xhaka there, who's just. I don't like getting on any player's back, but he's not the same. I mentioned it on my tweet during the game against Brentford. He's not the same for Arsenal as he is for Switzerland, because he hasn't got that. He doesn't care about the club as much as he does for his country. So
yeah. And
you,
I think
you go on.
sorry, with Granit Xhaka, I think the Premier League football is much faster than sort of the football out there in the world and sort of European football
International
and
football's much, yeah, definitely, yeah,
yeah, international football. Yeah, I think the football's much slower. He gets much more time on the ball to do what he wants to do. In the
yeah,
Premier League, people know his game. People hunt him down straight away. He
yeah,
turns on the pivot, gets caught. It even happened on the weekend.
yeah,
It's I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? He wants to
yeah.
leave, and we reward him with another 2 years. I don't. How does that? I can't understand.
Even as a
That,
selling strategy, do you know what I mean? Like, even if you're saying, like, oh, we're going to put 2 years on your contract so we get more money. Every club that was out there was already looking at him thinking, well, they've only done that to get more money out of us, so you can keep him for another 2 years. We know you want to get rid of him, so we're
yeah,
not going to pay you the extra money.
yeah.
It just
It's
the strategy there just doesn't sit well with me. Like I say, we're letting it was. Like I say, don't jump too far forward, but it was really nice to see Reece Nelson getting time on the pitch against Brentford, and you had Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the bench and whatnot. But Joe Willock, I keep going back to him because he's had Premier League experience now, and
yeah,
I genuinely think for 20 million, Newcastle got a decent buy there. He can't, he's not going to be any worse than Xhaka. Like you say, Xhaka's first thought in the Premier League is to turn sideways or back, and that's
yeah,
not good enough. So that brings pressure. And like you say, you were just saying, the opposition teams know that now. So if they run towards him, they know he's going to turn back, and it's going to put pressure on us straight away.
yeah. He's got no legs.
No,
He
yeah,
looks
no,
like he's stuck in the mud.
yeah, which is why he'd be perfect for Italy, because Italy is all about slow tempo, isn't it?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
why Mourinho. It's why Mourinho wants him.
The thing is, with the whole deal, when it comes down to the deal, I get we wanted 20 million for him, and it is cheeky that they won't give us the money we want
Isn't it?
for him. I get
Yeah.
it, it is cheeky, and I get why Arsenal have kept him. But me, I don't get why we've offered him a new contract. If we're
Yeah.
keeping him, fair enough, because you want your money for him. If someone comes to you, John, and says, "Look, I want to buy your car," and you say, "Well, I've got it on the market for this price," and they keep sort of lowballing you, you can turn around and say, "Look, cool, don't worry about it then."
Yeah,
You know what
I'll
I mean?
stick
I'm
with it.
happy
I'm not
to
that
keep it
fast.
because, yeah, but I'm not gonna go and start bloody kitting the car up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Don't do it, man. So I think with Arsenal, that's where I'm stumped. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I really didn't get it. And as for the Joe Willock thing, I think he probably deserved the chance. I know
Yeah.
he's an asset, and we haven't got many assets. And I don't know if I wanted to ask you this because this has sort of been swimming around in my head, and
Yeah.
I think with Arsenal fans, do we sort of diminish our players so much that they lose their value? Is it us as well? Because for some reason, look, for instance, yeah, look at a Tammy Abraham, yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea, do they even have the right to ask for 40 million for a Tammy Abraham? Somebody that's never had the golden boot, somebody that I don't I don't want to sort of, because I haven't done my homework, but I don't think he's ever scored 25 goals in the Premier League. You know
No.
what I mean? I don't even know if he scored 20 goals in the Premier League in a season. But
Maybe over his
for
career.
some reason, yeah, for some reason, and I don't want to dog Tammy Abraham because I like him. I
No.
think he's decent. He's an
Yeah.
Arsenal fan. We can have that debate if we want to after, but I'm just using Tammy Abraham as a
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
as a benchmark. But how can Chelsea go out there and ask for 40 million for Tammy Abraham and no one sort of blinks an eyelid and says, well, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
when we
It
were
must be
asking
good
for
because it's come
20
from
million for a
Chelsea.
Granit Xhaka, yeah, when we're asking for a 20 million for a Granit Xhaka, or when we're talking about our players are valued at nothing. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And is it
Yeah.
because I say that to say this? Is it because we sort of talk so badly about our players? We down the value of them
I
rather than
definitely
sort
think
of
that's
talking
part
them
of
up.
it. Definitely, mate. Because and part of it obviously is our position in the league. So they'll be saying, well, they can't be that good because they're only the eighth best team in the league, whereas Chelsea won the Champions League and whatnot last year. But you're right. Tammy Abraham isn't a proven striker. If Chelsea don't want him, it means he's not good enough for them. There's
Yeah,
that as well. Isn't there? I mean, if he's as good as a £40 million player, then they don't need to be bringing in £89 million of Lukaku, do they? Or 92 or
no,
whatever it is, you know. And that's a really weird signing for me, but them going back for Lukaku when they've got someone like that on the bench. So they obviously don't. It's that whole thing about like with Willian again. It's It's like, oh yeah, Chelsea will turn around to us or to anyone and go, yeah, they're a great player. We really want to keep him, but we just can't anymore. So we go, oh, if he's a really good player and Chelsea want him, we'll go in for him. They're like, they fell for it again. They've given us Louise, Willian. Now they're going, yeah, Abraham, 40 million a year is quality, mate, and they're just sitting there, you know. And like I say, that's not to bash Abraham. But
No.
you know, if he gets the same as our lads, if he gets a decent run, who knows what could happen? He could just be a spark that he needs at a different club or whatever. But
Yeah, but for me, I look at an Abraham, yeah, and no disrespect to him, I see him as a 25 to 30 million pound striker, to 30 million. That's for me. I see him as that sort of forward, but I can't see 40 million,
40 million.
and it's like it's just normal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and the thing is,
normal?
if you're banging out a £40 million price tag on him, that means he's got to be starting. You're not having that sitting on the bench, are you? If you're the buying club, and then, like I say, I mean, so where does that leave Lacazette and Aubameyang? Because there are stories coming out now where both of them are on their way. You know, so
yeah. What
uh,
what could we actually sort of get for Aubameyang? You know, like I don't know what sort of value he'd be going for right now. He's got
I mean,
another year, another 2 years.
2 years on his contract. He signed a new
Signed
one
for
last
a
year,
year.
didn't he? And
Yeah.
after last year's performances, I genuinely think you're looking at 25 tops. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
I think people are going to turn around and go, well, he's gone off a cliff. He's not the player he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone in England would take a chance on him. So it'd be going back. It'd be going abroad, Spain or back to Germany, perhaps. So you won't be getting massive money because all those clubs are in trouble financially. I mean, look at Barcelona. You know, they've literally got nothing. They're having to sell everyone off.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's only the clubs like City and that they've got money to spend, isn't it?
Yeah. How do you feel about going back for Ødegaard? How do you feel about that? Or
do you know what? It's a weird one because I didn't see
Madison.
Because I didn't see him play in the flesh, so you only get to see him on. You don't get to see his overall game, his movement and whatnot. I liked what I saw of him, but I also think he's going to stifle. Again, he's going to stifle someone we've already got at the club. You're going to, your Smith Rose, or this could be the chance for people like Reece Nelson and that to step up. And I'd rather have Reece Nelson do well than go and buy Ødegaard, who does all right. Do you know what I mean? If they're going to be the same sort of levels, then why not keep the lads that you've got at your club that love the club? You know, that's how I think. I mean, he's a good player.
You mean like here for a paycheck?
Yeah. Or would Ødegaard see us as a stepping stone because he wants to play European football anyway? So does he think to himself, if I play for Arsenal and get myself noticed in the Premier League, one of the other clubs in the Premier League might take me on?
Swoop me up. But the only thing is, we miss the creation of an Ødegaard because he does have that sort of Ozil-esque that can play the killer pass. We need somebody that's going to play that killer pass. Because let's get into the game. Because even in the game, it was, I feel like, a big thing we were missing. That weren't the only thing because we lost 2-0. So the defending was atrocious. But a big thing we were missing is that person that's going to play a killer pass. Do you know what I mean? Rather than runners.
So for me, mate, when I was watching it, there was a couple of things. One, Kieran Tierney was our most potent attacking outlet, and when it's your left back is one where all the trouble's coming from. Then you know you're in trouble as a squad.
You're banging trouble.
Do you know what I mean? Because no one else is getting forward ahead of him. I think Smith Rowe had a decent game, especially in the second. Before they scored their second goal, we were turning the screw. I was sitting there watching it with my boy, and I was saying, our goal is coming. We're going to get a goal out of this. But we had, they were starting to make the moves, but there was no one ahead of them that was doing the running. You know, I don't want to bash Arteta because I'm not one of those sort of people. We've done this before loads of times, but there is something I think he's coached the individuality out of the team. He's got them so it's like you're going to play my way and my way only. they don't want to put a foot wrong or whatever, so they
They
don't
don't want to
know
get dropped.
how to play their own game, do they? Yeah, they don't want to
Yeah,
get dropped. Look at
they don't want to
Aubameyang
get
before
dropped.
Spurs.
Yeah.
So there
Overcoaching.
were,
There's a thing
yeah,
with
and
overcoaching.
you see him on the sidelines. We always said, oh, Wenger never gets up and says anything, but Arteta don't leave him alone.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
got to be a happy balance there, isn't there?
Yeah. Definitely, 100%.
So yeah, I agree with you. There was a spark missing. That there wasn't enough energy in the team. There wasn't enough drive to go forward. That willingness to go past the player. Apart from there was one beautiful moment I think it was the second half when Smith Rowe got the ball and turned in the middle of the pitch and he just turned and it was just it was silky.
He's
There
done that
was
a
no one ahead
few
of him after
times
do
as
that.
well. Yeah. This is it, and I think in that sort of circumstance, we did miss an Aubameyang.
A proper
or a
centre forward.
Lacazette.
Yeah,
You know,
it was a big ask for Balogun, wasn't it? We've all wanted to see him, but I said I said to one of the other gooners, not like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I said to one of the gooners at the pub beforehand, I was like, well, at least if you're going to throw him in, Brentford's probably a decent opponent, but not at this time of the season because already, we've seen it so many times. Promoted teams, they're flying for the first 10 games. They're running on pure adrenaline. Do you know what I mean? And they're an unknown quantity, so people don't know what they're going to be getting from them.
Yeah.
You're better off playing one of those guys at 15, 20 games into the season when they run out of energy and they've been found out.
100%.
During the game, Brentford, they were dropping like flies, getting cramp and all sorts, but we had no ability to run at them after that. We had no one going, right, look, these guys are on their feet. Come on, let's get at them.
Yeah, where was the creation?
And
I think that comes down to what you said previously about the coaching the sort of coaching too much. It's sometimes you have to allow for a player to let the leash, or you've got to let the leash off a player. And I think that's where sort of Pepe's a bit stifled, where you see it's like he stops and he's thinking about what to do next. And I don't want to put that all on Arteta, but I feel like a lot of the players feel like they're going to be dropped if they don't do exactly what he says. It's a lot. It's a lot. And, I said to my missus, if this was 0-0 before kickoff, I said, if he don't win this game and we go into the international break, bottom of the table, no points, because international break, think about it, Brentford, Chelsea, City, then international break. Yeah, we could be on 0 points for the international break. Sitting bottom of the table, mate. Brentford beat us 2-0. I don't even want to know what City's gonna do for us. You know what I mean? And Chelsea, they're feeling good right now. Do you know what I mean? They're in a good place right now. Like winning the Champions League, winning the Super Cup. They're in a good place right now. We're not.
They won comfortably yesterday, 3-0, didn't they?
Yeah, I worry for Arteta.
And that's the thing, because who's there? Who's going to come in? I mean, apart from maybe Antonio Conte, but because he's out of a job, but he's very defensive minded, and if we haven't got the defensive players, how's he going to cope?
The whole thing is we need an attacking minded. We need an attacking minded manager because Arteta is very defensive minded.
There's a fella out. He's not in work at the moment. He's working for TV and stuff. He's quite attacking minded. What's his name? Arsene Wenger. That's it. Yeah.
Hey. Good.
I mean, I'm not saying we should ever go back, but I mean, it does go to show you what he was doing with the squads that he had.
Some respect on his name, man.
Yeah, and hopefully people are looking back now and thinking, actually, you're right. It was, because
the grass ain't always greener.
I genuinely think he could do more out of it. He wouldn't have lost to Brentford with that squad that we had out on Friday night. He wouldn't have lost that game.
No. And I think that comes down to Arteta's overcoaching and sort of not having enough experience. And
maybe he doesn't trust his players enough.
Yeah, but for me, sometimes you've got to look at the players you've got and play to their strengths. He wants to play this sort of expansive football, and he trusts in some of his players. But I feel like, do you though? Because why are you standing there talking so much? Because Pep don't talk that much. Sometimes you see him ranting and raving. but he don't talk that much.
much.
So that equals he believes in the message he's put out there and the players' abilities. You
Yeah,
obviously don't because you have to overcoach everything. Sometimes take a step back and believe in your work.
this is what I'm saying. Like you say, you've absolutely nailed it. Like you say, Pep will come out and say, "Why are you doing this when I've told you to do that?" He's not standing there constantly going, "You stand there, you stand there, you move now, you move now." And the players
Yeah,
going,
yeah,
"What?" And like you say,
yeah.
it's like he's not picking the player. What he's got a favoured formation, and he's not, and he's trying to build the players into that rather than the other way around. He might just look at it and think, "Do you know what? Actually, a 4-4-2 might be better." Or he doesn't try and look.
Yeah,
He wants it to be this 3-4-1-2, whatever it is that he plays. And
four,
it's
two.
just not working, is it?
Yeah. The
It's
thing
just not
is,
working.
with you think about it, yeah. When Arteta first came, what did he do? He put a three at the back. That was a five at the back in defensive.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
once he done that, I felt like he understood the squad. He was understanding that. Look, I haven't got two good centre backs, so guess what I've got to do? Put three
put
there.
three in
You
and
know
get
what
the
I mean?
fullbacks
It's
to
that.
help him out. Yeah,
Yeah, keep it simple, bro. You know what I mean? Keep it simple because you've understood, yeah. You've looked at the thing and you've said, look, I haven't got two good centre backs, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stick three at the back. And
yeah.
guess what happened? We ended up winning the FA Cup. We
Wake
came
up.
late, but we ended up winning the FA Cup because you kept it smart, kept it simple. Now
Yeah,
I get it. You want to go four at the back, that's fine.
yeah.
But look at your squad. Look at the rest of the squad. People that can't do certain things, if they can't do the way you want them to sort of set up, don't set up like that.
Yeah,
Because it just it's football simple, man. You know what I mean? Keep it
it really
simple.
should be. I
Keep
mean,
it simple. Play to your
against
strength.
against Brentford, obviously, I still maintain 100% that for the second goal, it was a massive foul on Leno. The geezer had his arms locked all over him. Do you know what I mean? Leno should
Yeah,
have
yeah,
just,
yeah. I
Leno should have
saw
pushed
that.
him away. But
Yeah,
also they should have been. There were two Brentford players queuing up to head the ball in. There should have been someone marking those guys as well.
marking them. Yeah, yeah.
But
And sorry,
it's just a lack.
and
Go on.
Balogun. Sorry, and Balogun. A penalty
Ah,
should have been awarded
all day
up
long.
the other end.
All
Yeah,
day long.
yeah. Sorry, mate. Go
No,
Brentford.
guys, I'd forgotten about that. But yeah, but the thing again was it, it's the choice of ball in the Brentford game as well. They're not picking like they're not picking the right ball. There was one moment when again not I don't want to keep but he's the weak point at the moment is Xhaka. There was a point where someone's freeze framed it on Twitter as well. He passed it out to Tierney when Martinelli was literally it stood in space right on the edge of the area. If it had just put a through ball in, Martinelli would have been one on one with the keeper, but he chose to go out wide. Now is that
Yeah,
because that's what they've been told to do, get it out wide and whip crosses in, or is it because he's not switched on enough to realise that, like you were saying, it's too slow.
play the
He's
killer
too
pass.
slow. He's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't want to play the killer pass.
yeah. Play the
Uh,
killer pass. Be brave.
yeah, against Brentford, you've got to turn around and go. No, we're Arsenal. We got to prove to them. Even though they're at home, they've got to earn the right to play against
Yeah,
us. You know,
yeah.
we're the
You're
big
right.
boys here.
Yeah, but we weren't, mate. And
No, no.
for me, like I said previously, I worry for Arteta because I feel like he
It's
might not make it till
it's
Christmas,
mad,
mate.
isn't it?
He might not make it till Christmas.
I mean, I know it's not after one result because it's all the stuff that happened last year as well. But after the first result of the season, you got John Cross in the mirror going, "Oh, Arsenal are in crisis." We're not in crisis. There are going to be other teams that lose to Brentford. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
but you're right. I think Arteta. I think he might be gone by Christmas. I just don't know where they're going to go with him.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what's going to happen.
yeah. Because it's more of the same. We
And this
need
is
to
his team
see
now as well, isn't it?
progression, mate. Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know,
your team. You've got Lokonga. You've got a few Tavares. You've got Ben White. You
they're
know,
all
if you
they're all
bring
his
back
signings.
Odegaard,
He can't now say, "Oh, I'm working with Emery's team" or whatever, because this is his team now. You know.
yeah, yeah,
And yes, I go. I guess you can say, well, we were without Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Partey. those three
Mm.
players would have made a massive difference against Brentford.
Of course,
But
of course, of course.
we should still be strong enough in the squad to be able to get. I mean, 1-0 you could probably take, but a 2-0 loss, you're like, no, there's something wrong there. You know.
Yeah, and a convincing 2-0 loss.
Wasn't it? That was the thing. Yeah, yeah.
They were convinced they were the
look
better
troubled,
team.
did they?
They were the better team. They
Yeah.
deserved it. You know, we had nothing.
No, I don't remember us troubling their keeper at all. Maybe I've blocked it out, but I don't remember us actually, causing a scramble or anything. We might have a couple of shots that he saved, but nothing that he wouldn't be expected to save. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And that's where it's getting hard now. Like, I've been having a row on Twitter yesterday about some fella because Troops from AFTV put that his son, who's 8 years old, is thinking about changing clubs to another team. I'm like, even 8 years when I was 8 years old in 1985, Arsenal were rubbish then, but I stuck with them. Do you know what I mean? And you can't just keep chopping. You can't chop them because they're not doing well or whatever. But
yeah,
you do worry.
Crap. Then what do you do?
I mean, football does go in cycles, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? But it's just one of those things that I think, we've said before, a lot of the supporters nowadays have only ever known success under Wenger and stuff as well. So they're not used to Arsenal or their club being in this sort of position. But it does make you worry for the future because, like you say, where can we go from here? We've got, and I don't even think that this year, again, the Cronkies are the root cause of it all because they've put money in. Like you say, we've brought Tavares, we've bought Ben White, we've bought Lokonga. Do you know what I mean? They are spending money without selling anyone.
Can't be mad at them. Yeah.
So the problem is there's a problem there somewhere. It's got, and I hate it, but it's got to be Arteta. And I'm not saying Arteta out, not yet, but I'm not far off it now. I'm not.
No. This is it. Can't even be too mad at the people that are saying it at the moment. You know what I mean? Because the reality is he's overcoaching and we're underperforming and he doesn't have enough experience, it's seeming like. You know what I mean? I can see what he's trying to do. I can see it, but you're not doing it.
And I wonder if remember last year before the Tottenham game when he dropped to Aubameyang, we got a lucky win out of it in the end, didn't we? But I wonder if because he was giving it the big I am the boss thing there, wasn't he? And I wonder if that has actually burnt his bridges at the club, and the senior players are like, hang on, if that's how he's treating the captain, maybe I don't want to play for this geezer anymore. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if some of that's happened, and maybe that's what they're doing. They're down in tools.
Yeah, you don't want that to be the case because you hope that everyone's professional.
Professional, isn't it?
Yeah, people are looking at their careers and rather than sort of little things like that. But that does affect you. When your boss is a bit of a prick, you do sort of want to down tools. Everyone does it at work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No matter what job you're in it,
Yeah. If your boss is good to you, you take care of your boss.
Yeah.
You know? So it could be a bit of that, mate.
And like I say, with this being his team now, they might be like, I signed on for him. Hang on, and he's treating Eskis like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
You just don't know, do you?
The senior players you're talking about, because to be honest, he's done really well with the younger players, as in getting new contracts out. Your Sakas, your Smith Rose, your Martinellis. There's a few people that have signed on for the cause. You know what I mean? You've got Lokonga now. Tavares. I'm hearing good things about him. A few people, when we signed him, were telling me, listen, he's a top player.
Yeah.
So the younger players obviously are looking at it and maybe enjoy playing in this sort of thing. But maybe, like you're saying, the senior players are looking at it like, well, mate, I'm just here for a paycheck. And I don't want to think like that, but that does happen, man.
Yeah. And, maybe that's the way he's doing. Maybe he's trying to ship those players out. Maybe that's why he's been like that with Lacazette and Aubameyang. Maybe he's saying, no, you ain't going to, because you're not going to do it the way I want you to do it. And maybe when he's got those influences out of the club, maybe it will all turn around. But will he get the time to do that?
Exactly. Does he have the time? You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if we get to uh, international break and we've got no points,
No points on the
you
board. Yeah,
could you couldn't be too mad if sort of, and I get it's the way the sort of the dice has been rolled for him because it's unfair, but it is fair in a way because it is what it is. You know what
you've
I
got to
mean?
play him at some
City,
point, haven't
Chelsea,
you?
yeah, City, Chelsea, and Brentford. I was at least looking at 3 points at least from Brentford.
Yeah.
You know, City, Chelsea. I
You
think a
take
lot of
what you
fans
get,
would
don't
have
you?
sort of understood it, but after losing this game to Brentford, it doesn't look hopeful, mate.
No.
It doesn't look
And then
hopeful.
we get Spurs after a couple of games after the international break as well, don't we?
Yes,
So it's,
yes.
although
Norwich,
hopefully they won't have Kane up front anymore because hopefully after today Kane will sign for City.
sign for City, yeah. Then
Yeah.
he'll sign for City and then fucking blow us away when we play them in 2 weeks.
No,
No, man.
he ain't going to go nowhere though. He's one of their own. You know, he's
Yeah.
one of
One
their
of
own.
their
Where
own. Yeah. Please,
But
please.
so Arteta's come out and said that we're still looking at signing players, but
Mm.
who? I mean, unless like I say, unless it's Abraham, who's it? We have been linked with someone else, and Odegaard. I can't see who else they're going to be looking at. And like you were saying before, we were just saying a minute ago then about maybe shipping some of the big players out. Who's going to want to take Aubameyang on that massive contract if he's not
Yeah.
playing well? So
350 a week.
you get stuck in September the 1st, you still got him there at the club. You got to deal with it,
Yeah. You've got to deal with it. And I don't want to say it, but it's turned into another Mesut Ozil situation.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You know, he's signed on for the big contract. He was playing decent before he got the contract, and now he's lost all confidence. I'm not going to say he's down tools because I think he's a good guy. I think he's down for the cause, but the form, where's the form, man?
Where's Paul gone? Yeah, because
Where's the goals?
part of it is because he knows he's untouchable. Maybe.
Yeah,
No, he's on that much money a week. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and that's it. I don't want it to be that, but
yeah.
what's going on, man? Tell us something, Oba. Tell us something, Captain Oba.
Someone tell us something about, please. We need
Yeah.
some sort of good news now.
Flipping out. What about the news about Aaron Ramsdale, man? I'm not sold on him. Relegated twice in the last 2 seasons.
I don't know enough about him. I mean, they've obviously watched him. They've obviously scouted him. And
Yeah. I don't know what they've seen, though, because I'm going to be honest. Every game I've watched of him, I'm not happy, man. I see him flapping at balls. It just looks odd.
But then that's what Leno does, man.
Yeah.
You watch Leno, he flaps all over the place.
Well, me and you, we've both been digging Leno out for seasons. It's not, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, Leno isn't my guy, man. He's never been my guy. He's awkward on the ball. He's got no footwork.
No, yeah,
and shot stopping is really good.
Yeah, reflex saves. Yeah.
You're a goalkeeper. That's what you should be doing. You should have good reflex saves, but you need good feet and calm the defense down.
Especially in the way that Arteta wants you to play. He wants to be passing the ball out, and the amount of times we get stuck because he passes the wrong pass to the wrong player, and we're under pressure. No.
It all starts attacks, yeah. Nowadays, in today's football, attacking starts from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The attack has to start from the goalkeeper. Yeah, the goalkeeper has to give the defense confidence. So the goalkeeper has to play the right pass to the defender in the right position at the right time. And if you can't kick the ball long, stop dilly dallying. And playing the wrong pass.
Because the thing is, like,
why he does that.
Like I say, the goalkeeper, when he receives the ball, he's looking up. He can see the whole pitch. So he thinks to himself, if that defender, I can see he's getting closed down. There's no point me passing to it. I might as well whack it long and at least relieve some of the pressure. But he still says, "Oh, so I've been told I've got to pass it to him, so I'm going to pass it to him no matter what." And I think that's part of it. He hasn't got the ability. I don't think he's got the ability to boot it long.
No, he ain't got the ability to boot it long. And he ain't got the ability to sort of pick the right pass or make the
Pass.
right decision,
No.
and he ain't got the ability to move his feet quick enough.
He does
Like
seem a bit. His footwork does seem a bit sluggish, doesn't it?
I just, for me, I sit there and I watch him, and all I do is shout at the TV. Kick it, kick it,
There was
pass it. Look, you're right. He frustrates me.
there was a
Leno
moment
frustrates
moment against Brentford. A cross came in, and I think he went to punch it, or but he just did that.
me.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's like he,
um,
I wonder if he thinks the
like, what are
ball's.
you doing, bro?
Maybe he thinks the ball's sent in. He's like, hello. The ball's flying past him.
I can't deal with Leno. I
Oh,
honestly, like for me, it it sort of for me it means so much to the team that the goalkeeper is calm and
yeah,
collected and does the right things at the right times. Because I feel like it comes from the back and it like sort of helps itself forward. And when the goalkeeper's all flappy and and kicking the ball here and
all that
doing, I feel like it puts the whole thing off,
whole yeah, because it's the same thing.
everything off.
The defenders know if they make a mistake, they've not got someone in behind them that can help them out.
Mm.
Like if you look at England during the Euros, Jordan Pickford, I don't think he's a great goalkeeper, but
Kicked it
he
long.
he kicks it long. He's always on at his defenders. He's always talking to them the whole time. And the minute they make
Yeah,
muck up, he's there screaming and shouting at them. I mean, so that does breed. They know that he's gonna. They've got him behind him, so they do know there's that bit there. He has got that bit of confidence. That, his defenders obviously trust him.
yeah.
And like you say, I don't think our defenders do trust. I mean, look at Chelsea when they had Aaron Zabalaga behind them. They didn't trust him. That's why Chelsea had to go out
Nothing
and find
about
a new goalkeeper,
nerve.
isn't it? And they
Yeah,
didn't muck about. They went, right, we need a new
yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah. Look at even going back to what you said about Pickford. Yeah, for me, Pickford ain't my favourite keeper. Uh, he's nervous or whatever. But do you know what? When he gets nervous, he just kicks it long. You
Yeah,
see it in the
there's no
Euros
muck about,
every
is it? Yeah,
time. Yeah, every time something was happening, someone was coming close, he just boot it,
but yeah, yeah,
and I loved it because for me it was like just get the ball out of my feet. I'm not going to try and act overconfident, try and
yeah,
fool you into thinking that I'm not nervous. We can see you're nervous by the way
yeah.
your feet's moving, by the way your body's moving. Pickford, when he was nervous, he'd just kick it. He wouldn't
Um,
fuck about with it.
they
Wouldn't
can't
play
score
about
from
with it.
their
He
they
just
can't
boot
score
it.
from their off, can they? So, yeah, unless you're Beckham, of course. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you get rid of it, you're gonna at least stop that chance of them scoring against you.
Yeah.
And
You know,
I mean,
and I
but
like that about
you
him.
look at all the big clubs, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. They when they went out, like they were looking at it. They didn't muck about. If their goalkeeper wasn't performing, like who was the fella? Can't remember the name now. The Liverpool goalkeeper. They just got rid. Right, get rid.
Oh,
We're going to get
is it?
Allison in. Yeah,
Yeah.
Karius. When they
Carriers.
just when they got rid. Man City, we're going to get Edison in. Do you know what I mean? And because they know
Yeah.
that you've got to have a decent goalkeeper before you go anywhere. You can't do anything if you've got a rubbish
Anywhere.
goalkeeper.
Yeah, you can't because
Yeah,
it impacts for me the whole team when you've
yeah,
got a keeper that's all flaky and that. It just puts me off, man.
yeah.
That really grinds my gears. I know you can hear the way I'm speaking about it because I do. I shout at the TV all day long once the ball goes back to Leonard.
I mean, part of it for
Yeah.
me with that is the fact that it always goes back to him. For now, you're like, oh, can't we just? It's come from our corner, and we've passed it all the way back to Leno. What's that all about?
Oh, flip's sake,
And it's just so like, and everyone used to say, oh, well done, we finished fourth or whatever. We would take fourth in a heartbeat now. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
heartbeat.
and they're saying, oh, like under Wenger, oh, we got so boring and predictable. We knew what we was going to do, but now, what's the difference now? We know what's going to happen now. We're going to flap around. We're not going to get great chances, and we're going to maybe scrape a win here or there, but we're going to get beaten by Brentford and Crystal Palace. Do you
But
know what I
look,
mean?
at least under Wenger, there was only 3 better clubs than us every
There was
season.
that. To be fair, yeah,
And
there
now,
was that.
now we've got 7 better clubs than us.
Yeah. Well,
For the last 2.
Spurs aren't better.
Yeah,
Spurs got where they were because we were as bad as we were. That's all that is.
yeah. It's just,
But you're right. I mean, there are clubs that have moved on, and we have now gone backwards. We've found our level again.
Yeah.
You know?
Not good. Last 2 seasons. So what's your? All right. So we've had a bad start. But have you got a prediction for the season where you think we will end up? Because remember, we don't have Europe.
No.
I know, like I said, if you take sort of Saturday's game away from you, or Friday's game away from sort of your head, where do you think we'd have finished this season?
Before Friday's game, which by the way, I think it's the first time Arsenal have ever ruined my weekend on a Friday night. Do you know what I mean? My weekend was done before it even started.
You know what I mean? Match of the day, I was half watching it, half not.
I haven't bothered. I might watch tonight's one, but I'm not even bothered watching match today. But yeah, before the season kicked off, I would have genuinely said that we probably would still float around 5th or 6th. I don't think we'll get any higher than that, even with Europe. Because I just think that the other clubs are doing well. It all does now depend on the rest of the window. If we were to get someone like Maddison, which I don't think will come now. I think there's a chance at the beginning of the window he might have come, but I don't think he will now. I think we'll improve on last year's because I think there are other teams that will go backwards. If for instance Spurs do sell Kane, they are going to struggle to score goals regularly, which that will help us out. It's ridiculous that you have to look at it that way. But yeah, I still think 6th. I think 6th is about where we are as a squad at the moment. That's obviously before we take anything else into account, like do we get a new manager, do new players coming in or whatever. As it stands, where we are now with our manager and our squad that we've got, I reckon 6 is as high as we can go.
Yeah. Well, this is it. That's sort of where I was sitting. 6th, 7th.
Decent cup run.
I weren't too sort of optimistic, but 6th or 7th, like you said before. The Brentford game had kicked off. I don't know where now.
There is still hope for us. Like I say, I think once we've got I genuinely think our midfield pairing will be Lokonga and Partey. I think those two together are going to be a better midfield partner than someone and Xhaka. Because I do think Xhaka's he's going to become a squad player now. He's going to be the step up. And I think the only reason he played on Friday was because Partey was injured.
Partey. Congo's very comfortable, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Very comfortable, man.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
And I think he will allow Partey to move forward. What we said when we first signed him, remember we did a big video about. We were saying about he can play here, he can play there, he can do all this sort of stuff. We were comparing him to Vieira in his passing range, and I think he can do that. But he needs someone like Congo who's calm on the ball. He's not going to be ruffled.
Sit back there.
Exactly, yeah, and do that work for him while he can then do the long bursting forwards.
Yeah, that would be nice, mate.
Yeah, and hopefully, I also thought. So this is what I was going to say. So my question, instead of doing a unpopular opinion this year, I was thinking about doing bits and pieces like who was your player growing up, or what one game do you remember like this time 10 years ago on this day 10 years ago sort of thing. But what about for me? I'm going to say for the beginning of the season, who do you think in the squad is going to make a name for themselves this year?
This year, I think I'll go with Smith Rowe after that performance last Friday. I think that he's going to have the Premier League talking about him, and maybe even this season might even get a full call up. I reckon for England.
Yeah,
I reckon Smith Rowe might be our gem.
I think you might be right. He might start getting spoken about in the sort of same levels, not as a player as Phil Foden, but in start becoming through.
Yeah.
It'll be our version of that. But I actually think I've got a feeling that Pepe is going to kick on this. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I've thought it all summer. I think Pepe's going to have a season this season. I think he's
yeah,
going to be.
yeah,
I think he's going to start regularly on that side. And I think
yeah.
we're going to see him.
He'll get the opportunity, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Arteta will give him the opportunity
Yeah.
to shine and
Yeah.
won't coach the bloody legs out of him.
The thing is, if he's on the right side, he's far enough through. You don't have to listen to our
Away
tech.
from it.
What, boss? Yeah, no.
Can't hear you, mate. I'm just going to run with the ball. See you
Especially
later.
all these fans here, I can't hear what they're saying, man.
Yeah, with the fans there, hopefully Arteta gets drowned out.
Yeah. That was the best thing about the Friday night game. Hearing those facts. I mean, to be fair to them, so I'm going to hold my hands up. Brentford are sort of like my second team. My whole family. My granddad used to be he's not with us anymore, unfortunately. He used to be a season ticket holder at Brentford. My mum's a Brentford fan. My whole family that side are all Brentford supporters. So, like, I want them to do well, but not against us. Obviously, I was gutted about that. But it was nice to see them in the top flight. They're brand new. Their stadium looks amazing, and their fans deserve that. You know, their fans have been going week in, week out. I saw the thing at the beginning. They had 16 relegations, or 16 relegations and promotions since they were last in the top flight. So they deserve their day in the sun.
They deserve it, man. Yeah, definitely. They're going to be a really good acquisition to the Premier League.
Premier League,
definitely.
yeah.
With those fans and that passion.
And that stadium and some of their players like that Ivan Toney does it a decent player, doesn't he?
Very good, yeah. Very good, man. Strong, workhorse. Hey, you can't ask for much more. Well, to be fair, you can't. I was going to say goals, but he's got goals in him.
Goals in him,
last season I saw. So,
do you know what surprised me? I didn't know. I don't know if this is Sky getting it wrong because they do get lots of things wrong. Like they did you see they announced that they said, oh look, there's Ian Wright, that's Arsenal's all-time leading goal scorer, and I'm like, what about Thierry Henry then? What happened to him?
Yeah. Because I sat back and thought that, and then I thought, am I an idiot?
Is he talking about in league? I don't know what, but no, he's not. But they might just be league goals
in the Premier League. Yeah.
But on their caption, when Balogun went off, they had an English flag next to him, but I thought it was American.
Yeah, I think he is American. I'm not sure if he's played for the under-21s.
Right.
Because he's been here so long.
He was definitely born out there. He was born in America, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But maybe he switched allegiances to English, but I don't know. But
until you get that call up, you're whatever, aren't you?
But in football terms, yeah.
Yeah, look at let's say a Reece Nelson. I think he's Jamaican. I could be very wrong. Sorry if you're not, but he could turn around and not play for England and say, look, I'm going to go play for Jamaica because I'm not getting the opportunity here.
It's like Diego Costa, isn't it? He's Brazilian but played for Spain, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bamian. Yeah, Bamian. Yeah, and
played for France.
And Vieira, born in Senegal, wasn't he? But that was a good thing as well. Actually, what I noticed on Friday, we have got a lot of English players in the squad now. Not that that's a bad, but what I'm saying, it's nice to see they're obviously all coming up through the youth ranks and stuff. So you've got, obviously we bought Ben White, but you've got Reece Nelson, you've got Saka, Smith Rowe, obviously now Balogun, Rob Holding, that's quite good to have an English spine. I think you need an English spine in the English league. I think that does make a difference.
Yeah.
So maybe you got to applaud Arteta that way. Yeah, Chambers. Yeah.
We've got
Niles on the bench.
And this is it. And I think having that obviously adds a bit of value to your team because we all know about the English tax.
The English tax.
Or we bloody know about Ben White. Let's not get into it because I do like Ben White. But you know what I mean? There is a thing on English tax where, it's what it is, isn't it? You get that call up, you become an international, chuck on an extra 10 million.
An extra couple of notes at the end of your name, innit?
Get an extra 10 mil, mate. Imagine if, let's say, Joe Willock had a cap. We could have asked for 35 million.
For easy,
but, but he's got no cap, so
Yeah.
25 million will have
I,
to
I
do.
tell you what, I bet he gets a captain international call up. I bet he gets one.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
he'll get a call up to the squad, Joe. Will it now that he's left us? I bet you any money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
let's look.
that was just nice to see that we had got a couple of, like I say, because I think you do need that spine. You need people that know the league. But it's
Yeah.
like I was saying about the Spurs fella. You bring up Ben White there. We spent £50 million on a player that's played in the lower divisions. He's played in the Premier League. You know, he's settled. He's in the England squad. He's a decent player. Spurs go out and spend the same sort of money on someone that's never played here before, and everyone's raving about it. But when we spend £50 million on Ben White, they were like, "What are you doing? That's crazy money." It's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So it goes
Yeah.
to show you
He
how the
knows.
media portray the clubs, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. 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 We get a lot of crap, mate. A lot of crap. And yeah, listen, our fan base knows it. They don't portray us in the right light, mate.
But,
But all we can do is win games,
yeah.
try to sort of turn the narrative. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? If we're not winning games, narrative there, and we're losing games.
And we're losing. Yeah, it's just
A
piles
horrible
on, isn't
cocktail, mate.
it?
Horrible cocktail, man. No one's buying that crap.
No, but
2 for 1. Oh, John.
oh well. Do you know what, man? This has been so good to finally get it off my chest.
Yeah. Listen, it feels good, man. It feels
I mean,
good to say something about it.
the only way is up, but probably not for a couple of weeks yet.
Yeah. It's
Oh, well, do you know what? It's Arsenal. Who's to say we're not going to go out there and beat either one of Man City or Chelsea? It's the sort of thing we do, isn't it?
Yeah. Lose to the smaller clubs
And then
and
go and
challenge
beat.
the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
Let's not say beat. I just said challenge. That's it.
That's it, yeah. Give them a good
Challenge.
game.
Give them a good, maybe. Listen, I don't want to. Well, we might as well do our prediction for
Cool.
next weekend. But I'm going positive 2-2.
Oh, genuinely had exactly the same thing in my
Yeah.
2-2 as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that we'll stick on that. Yeah, definitely a 2-2.
Yeah.
I think we'll put it back in the last gasp. We'll be 2-1 down and get a last minute equaliser.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with the point of
2-2.
City.
Yeah, because
Oh, no, it's at home, isn't it? It's at home.
Is it City? Or we got Chelsea? Who we got?
No, it's Chelsea. I know it's at home. I can't remember which one. That's terrible. Can't even remember what fixtures we got.
Should have done our homework. Too early.
It's because I'm still getting over the Brentford result.
Oh, mate, this is it, man. We're broken.
No, I think you're right. I think it is Chelsea, isn't it? Yeah. But
yeah, I think Chelsea. So I'll go with 2-2 for that.
2-2. Still going 2-2.
Yeah.
I've got something's going to happen. We are going to get. We just need to click and score goals. Once we do that, I think it will go. We'll take off. But we were saying that towards the end of last season. But at the end of last season, we started picking up. We had a decent run, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know.
And this is it. We had
we were a formed
good
team
run.
from December to the end of the season, weren't we?
Yeah.
You know?
But,
or at least the best
like we
defensive
said
team. It's the best
previously,
defensive team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we were up there in the form table. But like we said previously, the problem is the start we had was awful.
Awful. Yeah.
I don't want us to take off to another terrible start and then win games at the end of the season and end up mid-table again.
It feels like that whole thing when Wenger was in charge, when it'd be like once the pressure got on us, we crumbled. Then once the pressure was off, we started putting decent runs on. We can't do. We need to do. We need to put the performances in when we need the performances, don't you?
Yeah, get knocked out of everything in March. Oh, good old. Was it March or Feb?
Someone actually said
we get knocked out of everything.
Someone said a meme yesterday of Arteta just doing this. They just said that face when you know your season's finished in August. I was like, oh, come on now. Because that's the thing, we go into the Carling Cup earlier this year as well because we finished lower down and we're not in Europe, isn't it? We're not in Europe. Yeah.
Not going to be easy, mate. Not going to be easy. But
it's mental, isn't it? We say that all the time. It's like how often we say, oh, it ain't going to be easy now. And then before, it'd be like, oh, that's just West Brom. We can put out the kids against West Brom. We can't even do that anymore.
We can't. But look, it's something that he's got to work on. The players have to work on it, and hopefully we get a win next time out, and we stay sort of. And yeah, hopefully our next stream is more positive.
Yeah.
Win, draw. Even I don't want to say this because
But even you get
win,
if
draw,
you get
lose.
so even if you get a fighting loss, that's something. It's the fact that the
Yeah,
Brentford loss,
yeah.
we weren't even fighting for it, were we?
Fighting.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
We just laid down, mate.
Yeah.
We laid down and took it. So hopefully next time out we're looking at good performance, a good win, and
Or
our stream is much more positive for you
much
guys.
more positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much more positive for you guys because, hey, listen, we're
It's
feeling
not
it
easy
just as
talking
much
about
as
Arsenal
you
at the
lot.
moment, is it?
No, it's not. But look, we're here. We love the club, and we only
Yeah.
say what we say because we love the club.
Because we support it.
We're not
Yeah.
trying to put down. Yeah, we're not trying to put down the club or put a negative spin on the club. It's just sometimes you've got to have a bit of therapy, let it out, and then we move. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And that's how I manage this because we do this now. It makes it easier to get to the next game because we get to vent, we get to say our bit. We're never nasty or spiteful or anything like that. You know, we're not trying to do this for clicks and likes and whatnot. We're doing it because it's how we feel, and this is genuinely how we would talk if we were out and about or at the game. If we didn't do this, it'd be a nightmare trying to get to the next game again. But we all do, don't we? We've all got the same affliction. You know, we know, like I said, we know what's going to happen, but we're still going to go and watch the next game. We're still going to get involved and engrossed in it, aren't we? So
yes, that's it, man. It's our love for Arsenal.
It's a drug,
man.
and we're addicted.
It's our love for Arsenal that will kill us. Oh man, but seriously, John, it's been lovely chopping it up with you.
Great catch up again, fellas. Remember, so this is Going Great Guns, season 3, episode 1. We're off and running. Boom.
Episode 1. Come on, guys. Come on, Arsenal. And yeah, man.
All good,
Share,
man.
Like, subscribe.
Yeah, join in. Just join in.
Get involved, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Come and see us.
All over the
we're
place.
Here.
For you.
For you.
All right, man.